Here we are.
Again.
Once again.
Monday did not stop us.
That's right. Here we are. Another Monday.
Another Monday on Get Found
and Be Seen.
Woo!
Pulp Fiction. You see that movie?
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't seen it. Got to catch up on some movies.
Oh, you could spend the rest of your life trying to catch up on movies.
Good point. True. Very true. Well, Monty, it's great to be back. Really excited. I'm just excited about this week.
Oh, this is an exciting week. There's so much going on in our world.
Oh, yeah. Can't complain about that. Fired up about that.
Keep us busy.
Keep us busy.
Fly.
Keep us out of trouble.
Well.
Sorta.
So this week, huh? This week's kind of revolving around the avatar.
The avatar.
Which I suppose we're so used to that word.
We are.
You know, there's some people that aren't in the marketing world that think of avatar, and they probably think of a 7-foot tall blue guy.
Right.
Or maybe just their little icon that shows up next to their name when they're in their chat or something. No.
True. Yeah, because I'm in conversations with people. And they're like, "What? Avatar? The movie?
Right.
You got to break it down.
You got to give that context, that background. Avatars, our ideal customer, the representation of our ideal customer.
Right.
What really got me to help me pinpoint that was, what if I could only help one type of person?
Right.
If I had to choose, it's like I could that guy over there or that lady over there or what? Who is it going to be? Or maybe it's Carl.
Monty.
I don't know. On my screen, you're that way. On your screen, you might be that way. I don't know.
Oh, we got it right this time.
All right. Woo. So,
yeah, I love that, Monty, because I think about that. I think about that one person and I can relate that to being in the entertainment industry because, when we're trained we're trained to think about in different ways, but one of the ways is focus on that one person and sing or dance to that one person, communicate to that one person, and you're able to reach the masses.
Yeah. And I was and so taking that one person concept, I was just looking at if I have to choose one person and I have to do business with that one person and only that type of person and nobody else.
Right.
Well, then I want that person to have some certain qualities, like a decent paycheck. That'd be good, so they could spend money with me. But more importantly, I want to know, how they communicate and if they're going to be, one. I don't know. Let me back up. I'm so excited.
I love that. It's a good thing.
I just want to know. I want to pick. If I have to pick a person, I want the person that's going to spend money with me and get value from me and appreciate me and get something out of it.
Right.
So, there's some people that get a little bit out of it and some people that get more out of it. But I want to find that person that gets a lot out of it. That really is just like, yes, Monty, thank you. I want those people. So if I have to pick, I want to be picky and choosy. I want to grab those people. So I make an avatar. I make an ideal custom representation of those people so I can communicate with those people.
Right.
Those people. Them.
They. No, that's true. It's so important, and it's interesting because it shows up in how you communicate to them and everything we communicate to them.
Right. Yeah. And in verbal and in visual and in every other form of communication.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that in this world that we live in this world that we are immersed in, not just the world as in the earth, but this marketing world.
Right.
People associate this avatar, the ideal client. It's like, well, that's for advertising. That's what you need for advertising.
Right.
But I think that's pretty limiting. I think that ideal client representation doesn't have to be a client. It can be on other things. It's that if I only can even my friends. If I could only pick one kind of friend to have, well, then I'm going to be real picky about that friend. Luckily,
Right.
I have any kind of friend I want, so I don't need to be so picky. But
Right.
but if I was, I'd want to be that picky.
Right. Right. That's true. That's a good point. It's interesting too, because I think, as when it comes to thinking about our attitude avatar, who is our avatar, sometimes there could be a temptation to be a limiting belief too. Like, well, I just want to pick everyone. I want everyone to get my service or my product. This is for everyone. Where you got to really think about whom you want to serve, because you can't reach everyone at the same time. It's not going to happen, especially in today's world where, there's so much distraction getting out there.
Oh, there's 9 billion people. Do you really want to serve 9 billion people anyway? Definitely not on a one-to-one basis.
That'd be kind of overwhelming, man.
A little bit. Yeah.
You'd be going to bed tired. You won't even go to bed.
I was going to say, you're just not going to bed then.
Right.
So that's the wonderful thing. Yes, maybe your product or service could help anyone. It could be for everyone. But since we can't talk and sell to everyone, we might as well pick the ones we want rather than just picking the ones that happen to show up or come through the door or give us a call.
Right. So true. That's very true, Monty. An important topic this is.
It is. Yeah, it gets strung up in the ads, and then it goes to the next step where it's like, oh well, at the avatar, we just need to identify their pain points and their desires, and then we know enough. But right. I think that it's all about communication. So in this circumstance, the avatar is with a customer, so it's a customer relationship, but
right,
it doesn't necessarily have to be a customer relationship. It's pretty much any communication relationship. And right. knowing more than just what do they desire, but what is their form of communication? What things do they like? Do they talk fast? Do they talk slow? Do they like sophisticated many syllable words, or do they like it short and simple?
Right.
And all those things. It doesn't matter if you're trying to sell or if you're just trying to tell somebody, hey, you're going to get ran over if you stand there in the street. Good communication can help get your point across quicker.
Right. It's very true. Very true. I got to say, what this reminded me of? You remember how mimes, they do the mirror trick?
Oh, yeah.
Where you got to do exactly what the other person's doing. You got to mirror them.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit to some level,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Mimic. You want to mimic them a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So true. I love that, man. And I love that. That's true. And I think too, when I think about the avatar, when I use this tool, I think about people in my everyday circle. I think about, family members. I communicate to family members differently. Someone who's your employee or people you want to hire. You don't want to just hire anyone. So it's like pinpointing and targeting the people you want to reach, and how you want to serve them or how you want to build the relationship. So in my mind, it goes deeper than, hey, what are your pain points? What are your, what are your desires? That's super important. But knowing as much as you can to the point where, wow, this person understands me so much. Carl or Monty, they understand me so much. They care about what I care about. Therefore, I want to have that customer relationship with them.
Yeah, so the pain point is that immediate result. And that's where a lot of people end. That's the sale. I satisfied the immediate result. Done. Next person.
Right.
Whereas we want to nurture and build a relationship where it's not just about the sale. It's about getting the result. And typically the result is not a one-time deal. It's going to be a continuation. And so by nurturing and creating a relationship with the ideal avatar, with the ideal customer, you can get repeat sales if you want to look at it from the monetary side, but you also create a deeper relationship. And then, people talk. So they can talk about how, hey, I bought this thing that was cool. Or they can talk about, hey, I got this thing. It solved my problem. These guys are awesome. And I'm going to go back for more.
Right. That's true.
Which is much more powerful.
You said, yep, you said it right. Right on, hit it right in the nail. I think about even the communities we're a part of. The communities we're a part of. I'm telling my wife about it. I'm telling my wife about their personalities and how they conduct on their live streams and how fun it is. It's so much more than just the product. It's them. It's you know
The experience.
the experience, right?
Absolutely.
That's so true. And it's important. It reminds me of the fact that it's a marathon. It's not just a quick sprint,
Right.
which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because you want relationships that can last for years, for decades. Hopefully.
Right. Right. Sometimes you do that sprint. I mean, it's not saying that you don't need to sprint sometimes, but
Yeah.
if you limit yourself to just that, I'm only doing 100-yard dashes, then you need to keep doing 100-yard dashes over and over and over and over and over. If you get into that marathon thing, you just kind of make a pace, just keep going, and momentum, and things are easier.
Right.
So it's interesting how that avatar can align your business model so that you're not doing things so frantically.
Right.
And you're doing it more focused because you have an idea of who you're communicating with and how to communicate with them, rather than just throwing stuff out there. I have a client right now who keeps asking me, "What do you think about this flyer?" And she puts in there 8 different products and 12 different things that results that she can give. And I keep trying to tone her down, focus her in, say, "Listen, you lose people when you're just all over the place doing a bunch of different things. It's not
Right.
and it's hard because everybody, again, I can help everyone.
Yeah.
It's difficult to say, well, if I don't say this, then I wouldn't be helping those people. Just no, save it for later.
Right.
You're not getting rid of it. You're just taking it off of this focus for now.
Right.
And then that makes it easier too, because then you're like, oh, well, then I have another topic now because I took these things out of this, so I can focus on that next week, and I can focus on this week, and I actually created more content.
Right. And it's cool because, if you do that, you get a chance to serve them on a deeper level. Even with that same product, it might have given a quick result or a quick bang for your buck. But if you take time and you get to know each other more, you could serve them on a deeper level with that potentially too.
Right. Yeah, because that's that immediate result. I solved that result. Okay, next. But
Right.
wait, is that result going to stay? Or is there another level of that result? Or is there a different result that goes with it?
Right. I love that. And by that time, you would know.
Right. You get to learn because you're communicating and getting feedback and having a two-way street going on. So that way, yeah, and then you don't have to anticipate and guess anything. I wonder if they would like this. No, they told you because you were in there. You asked questions. That's why these groups are actually beneficial. A lot of times people think groups are meant for the people in the group, the members. But the person running the group can get more out of it than the members can.
Right. That's true. But that would take a lot of patience, which is a good thing. It's a good virtue to have. Now, I've noticed that too. Like a lot of people, entrepreneurs I've seen, they don't take the time. They just grow the group and that's it.
Right. And that's exactly what I was referring to, is that there are groups out there where the person that started the group isn't involved in the group really, or they're just posting some stuff into the group, but they're not engaging with the group. So they're missing out on the opportunity to get that feedback, to find out what they could do next that's going to have the best impact, the most impact.
Right. It's a marathon, Monty. It's a marathon.
Yep. It's cross country. Cross country skiing. It's not even a marathon. It's just it's a trek. It's a journey. It's an ongoing thing.
It is a journey.
Because I'm not trying to get there before anybody else. I'm not trying to stay ahead of other people. It's not like on my way to work when I was catching up to the person in front of me going 50 and I'm doing 55. So I come over and I start to pass them. And suddenly they're going faster than me now. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
I hope they get to where they need to get to.
I'm sure they got there. I just find it interesting that you kind of could put that in with the Facebook group thing. It's like, oh, they're reacting. They're not planning ahead for anything. They're reacting to what's happening now. And that's wow. Wow, that's big.
That's deep. I've been there, man.
I was just thinking about myself and stuff and going, man, as humans, we react, on social media. That's the whole point of social media, is make people react.
Right.
Hate, like, love, share, whatever. I don't care. Just react.
Right. And I love that. For me, Monty, just even in life in general, I'm at a place where I'm figuring out ways to create space. And what I mean by that is that's anywhere. That's in my home. That's on social media, creating a space where people can feel comfortable. They could feel like they can be served. They could feel like they have that strong relationship. Because when you create that environment, people feel safe. People feel comfortable with engaging and interacting with you. And you're able to serve them on a better level.
And they're real. Rather than trying to put up a front or trying to filter stuff. It's hey, we can have a better communication because we feel comfortable.
Right. It's organic.
Yeah. I like
that's the word I think of. Organic. I know people use that word. It's a buzzword that's used a lot in certain ways on internet, on the on social media and in the internet in general, but it's important.
Yeah. No, that's a good analogy. And yes, it is a common word in the internet, but if you really look at it, it's the same concept. It's that, hey, I'm just trying to be real. I'm not trying to use any tools, or I'm not trying to use any techniques, or I'm not trying to do something to alter, or I'm just real.
Right.
So I like that.
I like that. That's a line with one of my goals of just leaving a legacy. I could be myself and I could create that environment for people. It's legacy. To relate that to the business world too.
Yeah, absolutely. So with defining that avatar, knowing my ideal customer, that helps me make websites. Because I can think about how that person engages with things. So I can develop a user experience on a website for those types of people. So one website I might make short and concise and one single button, kind of funnel like, because I know that they're driver types. They're direct. They're dominant. They just want cut to the chase. But there's other people. If I've identified that, then I know, hey, I'm appealing to these types of people. These types of people want to know all the details, and they want to know that I'm going to be here, and they want to know that, so I want to set up my website so that they get that feeling of steadiness and assurance and all the little details that they need so that they can make their decision.
I love that. That's really good. And that's really deep too. Like I love that. And that's something that, and I, like you mentioned it before too, people get that immediate result, but that just serves people so well. If you could have that insight and show up like that with your business.
Right.
And that relates to that, creating that space. Oh, what was that?
On so many levels.
On so many levels. On so many levels. I think about that just a website. Websites are important for me. So when I hear that, I'm like, wow, I know that I'm going to get what I need, even if I can't articulate it, even if I can't visually express it.
Right.
It's the same thing with me for video. Just whether it's showing up confidently, as an entertainer, as a choreographer, that specific area of entertainment, one of the roles I had was to pay attention to the artists I was serving. Because if it was a Michael Jackson, for example, or a J-Lo, I was going to say Beyonce, but J-Lo, bringing her back out there, they would be served differently you know, and so I'd have to know exactly what they were going through. Like even one experience I had too with an actor when I was on set with her, it was good to sit and listen to her and walk with her and hear about her experiences, her insecurities, her challenges, you know, so she could show up confidently on video. So I instinctively I could tell her, I could say, hey, this is how you need to dance and this is how you need to move. And so it's the same thing with video, with just showing up confidently on camera for businesses and coaches. Like, yeah, this is the environment I'm going to share. So even if I create a workshop, which I'm creating one actually in a couple of weeks, it's going to happen. I know exactly how it's going to be. It's going to be for coaches. It could be for a whole bunch of other people, but it's going to be specifically for coaches. And I know what the challenges are, and I know what they need, and I know what, you know, they're going through. And I can also I can relate, I can empathize, you know, but knowing all the details they need to know for that specific avatar, I'm able to serve them on a better level with video. And like I know you mentioned, like videos for your website, short form videos, videos with a lot of energy, videos with more calm energy, videos with excitement, videos with sadness. You know, there's so many different ways I can go, but as I know that avatar, I could give them exactly what they want. Or if I can't give them what they want exactly, at least I could brainstorm with them and give them options for them to think about.
Right.
You know, so I said a lot right there, but that's
Yeah.
really
Well,
deep.
and it connects through to something you said earlier, about that, speaking to one person and you reach the masses. Well, you kind of reverse psychology that, and you say, hey, who's my ideal avatar? Well, pick one of your favorite customers, and then make your avatar about that customer, because the truth of the matter is, yes, every human is unique and
Right.
individual. However, we share a lot of things with some other people. So when you speak to that one person, there are tons of other people that are very similar to that person. No, not exact, but that doesn't matter,
Right.
because if one person likes cheese and another person likes cheese, then they're similar. Yeah, this person likes cheddar and that one likes Swiss, but that's okay. We found the common ground.
That was good, dude. That was really good, man. That, you know, that's human condition. You know, the basics of being able to connect with one another. That is definitely used in marketing. You know, what you said right there is powerful. You know, there's similarities, but there are differences. But you
Right.
know, the avatar, you can serve them on a higher level.
Yep. And for me, what it helps me on my side of that, focusing down. How do I focus? How do I eliminate and forget about all these other people? And again, it's like, okay, don't think about it as eliminating or forgetting. It's just postponing.
Right.
Hey, I'll get to you guys later.
Right.
Hey, I like that. I want to help everybody. Okay, well, I'm going to grab up these people and help them right now. The rest of you guys, sorry, you have to get in line.
Right. See you soon or see you
That's right.
later.
That's right. After I get done helping all these guys, you're next.
I love that. Yeah, I can't stress enough how important this topic is for people, and I'm not sure how it is for you, Monty, but I know in my experience, it's not always the most attractive thing. It's not always the most sexy thing that people talk about, and sometimes people are like, "What?" Or that seems like a lot of work. But and at the same time, it's important to dive in to discover that avatar. To make it,
It's
I
a,
try to make it fun too, make it a
it's a
fun
lot of
journey.
work. It's a lot of work. You said that
Yeah.
strikes me.
Mm,
So in programming and in a lot of other areas of life, but specifically in programming, when I was doing programming, a programmer will spend a lot of work, a lot of effort, will do a lot of work, so that way they save work down the road. That's
mm.
what the avatar is. You'd put a lot of work into defining it and knowing all these details about that person. And then down the road, you don't have to do as much work because you already have it done.
Right. That's good. That's
I think
that's
the
it
only
right
other
there.
thing that we haven't touched base about on the avatar is the difference between demographics and psychographics. Because everybody thinks demographics. Everybody thinks, oh, well, my avatar is between 30 and 40 years old, and they've been working for this many years. They make this much money a year. They have this many kids. They drive this kind of car. And those things help define a person so that you know maybe where they're at, or maybe the things that they like entertainment wise or that type of thing. But it doesn't really tell you anything about what motivates them.
Yeah.
What causes them to engage in things.
Right.
And so there's that psychographics. So it's not that it's not one or the other. It's a knowing which one is right for the right stuff, because you do need to know about the demographics, but the demographics don't help you write content for the person. The demographics help you get the content to the person in the right format.
That's a good point. It's a really good point.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic there, but I thought that we should at least touch base on that and say, hey, whoa, Avatar, we're not just talking about he's 6 foot tall, weighs 140 pounds.
Right. That's true. It's deep. Love it. It's good stuff, Monty.
Yeah. Kind of short, but we got some other stuff going on later, so we just wanted to make it a nice, concise bundle of info.
That was a good concise.
I liked it.
Me too. How can we keep it simple?
Well, keeping it simple. Defining your avatar. I think going back to the pick a person. Find one person and talk to that person. Make it a real person. That's what I did with you. Carl, you are my avatar for websites. And that helped me go from visualizing some ambiguous entity, and what would they think about? How would they feel? It's hard. That's where the hardness comes from, figuring out the pain points of an ambiguous figure. So when I narrowed it down to, oh, well, Carl said this, Carl said that, and all you have to do once in a while is remind yourself, well, what about all the other people who aren't Carl? We'll get to them later.
Yep.
I just want to talk to the Carls in the room.
Right. All the Carls in the house.
That's right. Now, there's only one Carl Aline.
Right.
But there's a lot of Carls out there.
That's true. Good point. And that's great, because I think about that. It's like, and even me being your avatar, at the end of the day, I know when you think that through and you allow yourself to be more, you ready for this? You allow yourself to be more conscious of what, my wants, needs, desires, and the things that I think about, and we talk, and sometimes you're steps ahead of me, and that's why we're able to work well together. And you're my avatar as well as a coach, which is pretty cool. You're able to think through, okay, what does Carl need? Oh, Carl said this the other day. Oh, wow, cool. And that opens up a whole realm of different topics that you can share, value you can share. That when I listen to it, when I see it online, I'm like, oh, snap. I'm reminded I need to do this. I'm reminded I need to think about my avatar. I'm reminded I need to do a short video or whatever, So it's cool how that builds the relationship right there. So I love that. One person.
That makes me, there's been comments about, oh gosh, that thought just flew right out of my head. I had too many thoughts going on in there.
It'll come back.
Maybe it'll come back. Cool. The avatar and talking to one person. And
that's right.
Yeah. I think that's the keeping it simple. And it's not just the avatar.
That's
like
perfect.
You said, if you're going to write a letter to a group of people, write it to one. If you're an employer and you need to write something to all the employees, not pick one as in talk to them by name, but by entity.
Appreciate that clarification.
Yeah. Because writing to one and you speak to the masses, but you do have to not be so fine tuned that you're literally writing to one.
Right. Don't be literal.
Right.
Appreciate that disclaimer.
Little disclaimer there.
Good stuff, Monty. This was good. I'm glad we did this one. And to be
Yeah,
honest, this is something that we need to continue to talk about
exactly. Yeah,
as we
this is
navigate
not a
forward.
closed topic at all. This applies to pretty much everything else
Right.
in one way, shape, or form.
Right. It's the core.
Yep. Everything
Not
revolves around it.
not decor, but the core. You like that?
That's pretty good.
Well, I say this is good.
I think we covered it. Well, covered for today. Like I said,
did.
we can revisit and talk about some specifics on certain things, on other topics, but that's where it was, starting with that centralized area. Because even if you don't know about an avatar, and you want to try and help everybody, you're still inside your head, you know the concept. It's not like that this was brought out to me and I was like, oh gosh, that I can't believe that. I never that's mind blowing. Like,
Right.
oh no, it makes perfect sense. It's just logic. It seems very, very logical. It's almost disappointing that I didn't think of it myself.
Yeah, it's true, man. I hear you. Good stuff, Monty. I think that wraps it up.
I think we covered it. We knew it was going to be a short show.
Yes, but a lot of value.
Right. Well, that's where it is. Avatar is where your value is.
And also for our audience, I like to say too, hey, if there are other topics that you like us to talk about, you'd like to hear about, feel free to put in the comment area. Let us know.
Absolutely. Yep. Got any questions, any specifics? Even if we didn't touch base on it, that's okay. We got more shows coming up.
That's right. And Monty, if someone's struggling, like they're pulling all their hair out, I can only pull this out at this point. If they're pulling all of their hair out and they're trying to figure out, how can I have a great website? How can I get really excellent with my sites? And I want to be visual and I want to have amazing things happen with my website. Where can they go?
Well, they can find me at montyarmstrong.com. That's all things Monty. So just scroll to the bottom and fill out the form and ask your question, and I'll answer.
Boom. Love it. And hey, if you want to find out about how to have a strong presence on video, guess where you can go? You can go to carlaleen.com. All things Carl.
All things Carl.
All things Carl. And guess who helped me with my website? There you have it. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.